Hey, I just want to take a few minutes and tell you what we're working on. So one of my projects that I have is building out a website that teaches people how to write their own handwritten will, holographic will, whatever you want to call it. Just because I know that there's a certain number of people out there that for one reason or another, they don't want to go hire a lawyer to get their will done, but they want to have a will in place, and so they look around and they try to figure out, how can they get their will done without having to go hire a lawyer. And so we're creating this website to make it easy for people to do just that. And we're just going to give you an idea of kind of what we've been working on the last few days as we build out our service, build out our website. So what we've been working on the last few days is really the sample forms for a single or unmarried person who wants to write their own holographic will. And right now we're working on the appropriate forms for people who live in the state of Louisiana. So there's really 5 kind of forms that we start with, and then there's miscellaneous provisions because everybody's different. So let me go over the 5 kind of forms that we start with and then go from there. So the first one is when a single person just simply wants to leave their estate when they pass away to their children equally. And I say children, it could be any adults, but a lot of the wills that are written out there in America, it's just, leaving everything to the children equally, or leaving things to these 4 people equally. And, that's a fairly simple way to do it. But that's the first of the 5 forms. The second is some people want to leave things to their children or to adults in percentages. Something like I leave, person A 20% of my estate, I leave person B 40% of my estate, I leave person C such and such percent. So some people want to leave it in percentages because they don't want to leave the same to each person or leave it to everyone equally. So there's that option, whether you're leaving it to children or whether you're leaving to other adults. Focusing on adults, not bringing minor children into the equation just yet. So the next form that we worked on and finalized was our form number 3, which is where people can utilize the information in that form to make specific bequests with the remainder to go to their children equally. So some people want to leave, their cars to a certain person. Some people want to leave a sum of money, maybe $10,000 to certain individuals. Some people want to leave money to charity or their church, or some people want to leave their gun collection to their son. So there's a number of sample specific bequests in that form. And then after the specific bequests, you would say something like, I leave the remainder of my estate to my children equally, for example. So Form 3 is all about the specific bequests with the remainder, going to certain individuals. Okay, form number 4 is now we're getting the minor children into the equation. So form number 4 is for a single person who wants to leave things to their children equally, and at least one of those children is a minor. Maybe all of them are minors, but now we get into these guardianship provisions, these trust provisions to enable you to name a backup parent for your children, to enable you to name who you'd want handling the inheritance for your young or minor child if you happen to pass away before your children are old enough to handle it for themselves. So because these forms are for single people, this is the appropriate form for maybe a divorced parent who doesn't want their ex-spouse to ever get their hands on your money. So because they would get their hands on your money if you died and you had nothing in place, then they would control the inheritance for your minor children. With that, using that, form number 4, you'll be able to, have more control and more say-so over, who handles stuff for your kids. And then my final form that we put in place, form number 5, it's the, sometimes people, let's say they have adult children, but maybe one of the children just either because of a disability or just never learned how to handle money, Form number 5 uses an example where a parent wants to leave things to the 3 children equally. 2 of them can have their share outright, but one child's share needs to go in a trust really for that child's lifetime, and someone else or others are the trustee or co-trustee of that trust after you pass away to manage it and dole it out for appropriate expenditures rather than just dumping money into the lap of someone who's not able to handle it appropriately. So all of those forms include all of the necessary provisions that need to be in a will, where somebody declares that it's their will, they revoke any prior wills, they make the appropriate executor appointments, they provide that the executor can act under the streamlined independent administration procedure. So if you have any kind of requests or thoughts on that, comments is the place for that. As we build this out, we want to make sure we can accommodate, people's needs. And so if there's something that I said that made sense, or you feel like I missed something that would be common for people to want to address in their wills, we're looking for feedback. And then as we build it, you can stay in touch and keep an eye on this channel and this site, and we'll keep you posted of our progress and let you know when it's available to the public. So I'm excited about it. It's a lot of work going into it, but I think it's something that's going to help people moving forward. All right, see you next time.